Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Pine v Alba!
Welcome back to the program you're watching today across the country. We'll take a look at these images. Mould-infested showers, no running water, filthy bathrooms, and wells made out of wheelie bins. Absolute squalor. These are the conditions on Manus Island. Close to 600 men refusing to be moved from the centre to new facilities, citing fears for their safety. Christopher Pyne and Anthony Albanese join us now. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning, Carl.
Christopher, have you seen that footage?
I have, yes.
Disturbed by it?
Well, Manus Island is closed, Carl. All those people in Manus Island who are at that detention centre are effectively squatting there. They could go to East Lorengau, West Lorengau, Hillside House, they could go to Nauru, the United States, they could go home to their own countries, and many in fact have done so. So the Papua New Guinean government has closed Manus Island, and those people who are still there are there illegally, effectively squatting. Activists in Australia telling them to stay there and they'll get to Australia are lying to them. And that is unfortunately the situation that they have put themselves in.
They do believe and they fear that they will be attacked if they're moved.
Well, the Papua New Guinean government is protecting all of those people. Many people are already at better facilities at East and West Lorengau, at Hillside House. Many people have taken the option of returning home. Some are in Nauru, some have gone to the United States. There are other options for them than Manus Island Detention Centre. Those people who are still in the Manus Island Detention Centre have chosen not to take the options that the government has made available to them, and that is because many of them are being told by Australian activists to stay in Manus Island and they'll get them to Australia. The message from the government's very clear. Anyone who's come via people smugglers will not end up in Australia.
Do you have any sense of humanity?
Of course, Carl, and I'm very sorry that those
like
people...
it this morning.
No, in fact, Carl, those people could be in new, fresh detention centres in West and East Lorengau and Hillside House. They are choosing to stay in those conditions.
Okay,
now that is the fact of the matter.
Okay, Anthony, these people, they could move. They fear for their own safety. The PNG authorities may well go in the next couple of days and forcibly remove them. That has disaster written all over it. Will you support that move?
Well, look, the fact is that Manus was supposed to be a processing centre. Instead, it's become a place of indefinite detention. And it's no wonder that you have this frustration after years of indefinite detention, which for many of these people, they don't see hope in terms of a place of settlement in a third country. The government looks at these people and doesn't see human beings deserving of respect. They see a political opportunity, and they've left them there for year after year. Christopher, in his response this morning, has said that an option is to go to the United States. I tell you what, I bet you every single person there who was told you can leave now, get on a plane and go to the US would do just that. But the truth is, the government hasn't provided options of third country settlement for these people.
That's not
New
so.
Zealand have made an offer and the government rejected it. They'd rather have this standoff, and it's time that the politics ended and that the government actually put in place a
You've
plan
got to deal with the facts.
and took some responsibility.
Well, talking in politics, let's move on. Christopher, are you going to refer Labor MPs with citizenship issues to the High Court? Simple, yes or no?
Well, yes, if they have citizenship issues, we will.
You going ahead with that now?
I just said, if we have evidence that there are Labor MPs with clouds over their citizenship, I don't care if Labor wants to cooperate or not. Bill Shorten is trying to blow up the Parliament. We're trying to solve the issue that the High Court has created for us. If Bill Shorten thinks you can carve out Labor MPs from the same rules that apply to everybody else in the Parliament, he has another thing coming. We won't be doing that. This is a situation he has created because he wants to blow up the Parliament.
Okay, so
we offered him an olive branch. He has rejected it.
So the Prime Minister indicated that he might be doing this. You're saying this morning that you are doing this.
If there are Labor MPs with citizenship issues that we have enough evidence to refer them to the High Court and Labor doesn't intend to cooperate, we will refer them without Labor's support.
Okay.
And if Bill Shorten refuses to cooperate, that is a matter for him. But we know that he's not a statesman. He's no John Curtin or Bob Hawke. We tried to work with him in a bipartisan way. He rejected that.
Okay, it's now war.
Well, the fact is, this is a government that's melting down before our very eyes. Malcolm Turnbull, we saw on the Today Show earlier this week the state that he's in. He's incapable of providing leadership. Labor has put forward a constructive proposal.
So why don't you put forward the documents on these MPs? What are you hiding?
We've said it should be done sooner rather than later.
Why don't you just do it now?
We want to do it. We want to do it, table them in Parliament the first week back, and then, of course, the Parliament will deal with it as appropriate. That's our plan. Their plan is to bring Parliament back. Why they want the Parliament to look that there's an even bigger crisis than there is beyond me.
So there's no...
They want it on December the 18th.
There's no deal.
We're saying December 1.
The deal, any kind of bipartisan relationship is now gone. It's now war.
Well, there's no leadership from this government. Someone has to lead, and Labor is showing leadership from opposition.
It's quite the opposite. Absolutely the opposite. Labor's wheels are spinning. Only a few months ago, Bill Shorten refused to release his own documentation about his citizenship.
And
he said no other Labor MP...
On the day in the Parliament.
And he said no other Labor MP...
In the Parliament, after Malcolm Turnbull had stood up and said that he had questions to answer and run this whole game, just like Malcolm Turnbull's the guy who stood in the Parliament and said the High Court will so find
I think we've got
about
resolution
Barnaby
here.
Joyce.
I think we've got resolution on this issue.
We are the ones dealing with it.
It's all looking good under this government.
Okay.
We're the ones dealing with it.
All right, see?
It's going well for you.
Labor's just playing
Will you
politics.
two stop yelling at each other?
We're friends.
Just get it sorted.
are.
I know.
We
See?
are.
It's
We're
not
the
gonna get
only
resolved.
two left. We're the last two friends
That's
standing.
it. It's a hit mission this morning from the government. All right, thank you guys. Best
Good
of luck.
on you.
Okay, Deb.